Jujutsu Kaisen is genuinely unfair. At this point, we all know the amount of treachery, pain, destruction, murder, and madness that occurs on a daily basis in this universe. Like, no BS, unless you were born God's favorite and your name is literally Satoru Gojo, your life in the JJK verse is bound to be hell. Cause ain't no sunshine and rainbows in JJK. Nah, we all out of that game. How about some doom and gloom? Mass destruction and bodily reconstruction. IG photo dumps and 200 pumps.
Man, you stupid.
Like yo, people in this universe would rather get hit with a meteor than defy the powers that be in JJK, who, mind you, made the entire prefecture of Shibuya live-action roleplay as Dusty Divot. And all of this was just because he felt like it. And the crazy thing is, I only listed the events that happened in Shibuya. The Culling game makes this 10 times worse. Cause this man Higuruma was basically popping Punisher out on the entirety of Tokyo Colony #1 like
Judge, jury, executioner!
Literally playing judge, jury, and execution. Hey, real quick, make sure you go sub up to the second channel. I post on there almost every day and we on the road to 10K, so lock in with. Alright, so we start off with Higuruma in his theater, where the text above him reads, in Japan, 99% of criminal trials end in a guilty verdict.
What?
And this was my exact same reaction too, cause bro, what do you mean 99%? This either gotta be the largest recorded case of judicial negligence of all time, or the delinquent population in Japan gotta be moving like Prime King Von disciples, cause ain't no way. But either way it go, the whole legal system seemed like it's just there for the fashion. So we immediately cut back to the past, where Higuruma was meeting Keita Oe, a client who was falsely indicted on the accusation that he murdered a young girl and her mother in their apartment. And the events leading up to his arrest were as follows. Hey you there! Stop! You're under arrest! Oh fuck! They found me! How though? I was trying to be careful! No, that doesn't matter right now. Either way it goes, I gotta get home and clear my hard drive. There's no way I can let them find out I was spawn camping Piper Raquel's OnlyFans. I'll be ruined. But Oe was no Olympic track star, so that boy ended up getting hawked down to his apartment by the 3 officers who were chasing him. And while on the scene, the officers found a knife covered in blood. And after running a DNA analysis, it was discovered that the DNA on it was a perfect match to the mothers and daughters. But even despite all this, Oe swore on his life that he ain't do it. He just picked up the knife. And I'm just sitting there like, bro, this nigga must have the combined IQ of Rakai, a rusty toolbox, and a Huntrix mule. Cause what capital D for dumbass sees a bloody knife just laying there on the sidewalk and thinks, I should take this knife home as a souvenir. Stupid. But it turns out, this client was actually a good guy and was telling the truth. He didn't do it. And based off everything Oe's told Higuruma, he believes him and decided to take on his case. Because Higuruma's whole thing is defending the wrongfully accused, cause he peeped from a young age. Japan's legal system is absolutely buns, and Higuruma's sense of morality drives him to make sure justice is served. So after taking on the case, this man Higuruma got to moving like the Matt Murdock of the JJK verse, collecting evidence, interviewing the locals, literally working around the clock non-stop to build a flawless defense against the prosecution, getting everything he needs to cook these boys. And after all that hard work, the day of the trial finally comes, and Oe is found innocent. Yeah, innocent, with literal 1% odds, and everything's looking green like St. Patty's Day, and Shorty's just in utter disbelief. Like, wait, we actually won this case? But Higuruma looks displeased, cause bro knows, just like Kobe, job ain't finished, cause the prosecutors just appealed right away, and immediately started spreading lies and fluff pieces on social media to sway public opinion. So the day of the second trial comes, and these boys literally didn't bring a shred of new evidence to the case, but some way, somehow, the verdict was guilty. That nigga is guilty! So now this wrongfully accused, innocent man has to go from walking home free to spending 5 lifetimes at Diddy's. And this shit pushed Higuruma to the edge like Vert, cause this man is pissed to the point that you can see every last blood vessel popping out of his eye sockets. Nothing but anger, rage, grief, and despair in his eyes. And this combo of negative emotions that Higuruma was feeling was so strong that this ended up being the canon event or catalyst that finally awakened this curse technique. Everyone come back. We're having a retrial. And I don't even gotta tell y'all how this went. But anyways, we cut to a flashback within a flashback where we see this Max Prestige chud getting smacked around and run down for lunch money by these goofy-ass Disney Channel bullies. And this flashback serves as the connecting piece to how this dude who was leading Yuji to Higuruma last episode knows him. So seeing that this dude is getting triple teamed, Yuji pulls up like a pamper ready to save him. And this shit just immediately turns into that new RDC skit, cause NPC Goner Bully number 1 just runs up like, looks like this little middle school baby needs to learn some respect, fellas. How about we teach him a lesson? Down you go, stupid.
Man, you stupid bitch!
And bro right here saw his homie get laid out like a first day of school fit and wasted no time. Immediately up in pole, literally. Picking up a whole metal pipe off the ground, speed blitzing Yuji with an overhead slash, which just ended up getting Texas two-stepped, cause I'm over here, dummy. He sideswipes just to get weaved, goes in for another, but Yuji just decided to start hitting Batman emotes on this nigga, holding him up in the air like Simba with one hand, before putting him in the ground like a casket. That's 2 bodies. And for the last
Too slow.
Damn, you hit that nigga so hard to replay 3 different times.
And you?
I'm in danger.
So fast forward to the present, and Blondie directs Yuji to the theater that Higuruma uses as his base. Cause the whole reason him and Megami pulled up to Tokyo Colony number 1 in the first place was to try to convince Higuruma to use his 100 points to add a rule to the culling game that allowed for the transfer of points. So Yuji heads inside the theater, stopping at the top of the staircase because all he hears is, I had a bitch a little bit, but that shit over now. I'm trying to see
bro.
karma real, like it was
Higuruma,
going around.
bro.
I've been with Rachel for 30 days. I
dog,
think I'm over now. Show this bitch 100K. I guess she going now.
Yo! What do you want?
I just want to talk, okay? But anyways, Yuji sees Higuruma, grown man by the way, taking the most dramatic bubble bath of all time center stage. Not only in a full suit, but bro couldn't even be bothered to take off his shoes either. And am I the only one wondering how Higuruma got this jumbo-sized bathtub in the middle of the stage? Not to mention getting the water in there, cause I don't know about you, but I don't see no faucet nowhere. Bro soaking in straight hose water, taking an impromptu cold plunge for what? I'm crying. Dudes be trying to be mysterious and misunderstood so bad.
Higuruma, listen. My name's Yuji Itadori, and I'm just here to talk. Hold on, wait. I happen to be a lawyer. For 30 minutes, my consultation fee is either 100,000 or you have to consume 5 Arby's Meat Mountains within 10 minutes.
5 meat mountains? What the fuck? I don't even think Dave Blunts could do that.
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see what it was like to be a cutthroat lawyer for once. Look, Higuruma, you still have your 100 points, right? Well, we'd like to use them. We're trying to stop the culling game. Well, really, all we want is to stop the required killing. Why though?
Huh? What you mean, why? So innocent people can stop dying.
Niggas die every day, B. You'll be aight. Besides, the way I see it, unlike the law, the culling game actually punishes rule breakers.
So after bantering back and forth for a while, Yuji realizes he doesn't have the facilities to win an argument with the lawyer. He knows bro is beyond reason at this point, so he just coldly says, you know what? I'll rephrase it then. Higuruma, you will let me use your 100 points, whether you like it or not.
Oh, really?
And after hearing Yuji was trying to get active, Higuruma wasted no time. And never in my life did I think getting out of a bathtub could lob somebody aura, but I was proven wrong. That combined with the composition, lighting, and colors made this scene go crazy.
Domain expansion. Deadly Rigo case.
Oh, fuck.
And when I tell y'all Higuruma didn't waste a millisecond, bro, I really mean it. Cause he told Yuji, I don't care about what you gotta say. I don't care about what your curse technique is, and I really don't care to find out. Cause regardless, I'm popping ult off rip, immediately hitting the
Yoichi Tenkai.
Fullboxing Yuji like a fish in his domain, deadly sentencing. And at this point, Yuji knows that getting trapped in another sorcerer's domain is exactly what Higuruma said, a death sentence. So bro Sonic booms his way towards Higuruma, looking to insta-cancel his domain, putting it on cooldown for the rest of the match. But before Yuji can even land a hit, Higuruma showed he is simply nothing like these other niggas, and neither is his domain. Instead of being the lethal guaranteed hit effect type of domain like everyone else's in the series, Higuruma's domain is the opposite. Deadly sentencing is a non-lethal domain domain that puts users in a courtroom, creating a completely fair rules-based environment that enforces a no-violence rule via a binding vow. And this causes Higuruma Shikigami, Judgment, to spawn into the game as well. And the all-knowing Judgment acts as overseer for the trial, confirming or denying statements and ultimately delivering the final verdict. And one thing I want y'all to keep in mind is, Judgment legit knows everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Bro is basically an omniscient being. But anyways, Judgment kicks off Yuji's case saying,
The defendant, Yuji Itadori, stands on trial accused of gooning to pictures of special grade sorcerer, Yuki Sakumo. Not only has Yuji been a tier 3 sub to Miss Sakumo's only sorcerer's account for the past several months, he is also allegedly the top donator as well.
huh? Wait, there's no way. Think, Yuji, think. There's no way they could possibly know that.
Itadori, not only are you accused of the latter, but you were also allegedly caught in 8K Ultra HD, gawking at Miss Sakumo's, you said, and I quote, double caked up absolute dump truck of a gyat. A confirmed source has also testified under oath that they've heard you call her mommy on multiple occasions. Man, AI is getting crazy these days. Oh really? Well, before we proceed, I'd like to remind you, within this domain, Judgment knows all who've entered and what they have done. You can be at ease knowing that information has not been shared with me though. Any verdicts in this case will come based solely on the arguments we provide, with the sole exception of this evidence right here.
So of course, hearing all of this information at once has Yuji's brain more fried than a Gen Z iPad kid's attention span. But after Tengen breaks it down a little bit more, he begins to understand. So these two continue to chop it up, and Higuruma lists out Yuji's options as follows: silence, confession, or denial. After thinking it out and weighing his options, just like the river in Egypt, Yuji chose denial.
Man, you corny!
Get it? Denial?
But anyways, Yuji denies the allegations against him, saying no, he's not a top tier gooner like that one dude in his bathrobe on TikTok that be ranking stars from the black and orange site.
Is that so? The evidence genuinely shows roughly 100 images just like this on your hard drive, along with footage of the incidents. But there's one last thing I'll need to confirm. Yuji, did you or did you not call Yuki Sakumo mommy?
And at this point, Yuji knows he's cooked, so he just coldly says,
Yeah, I called her mommy. I'm not lying, nor trying to deny it.
oh, he's cooked. Please, Judgment, I need this.
Guilty! Confiscation! Death penalty!
Nah, I'm just playing. But what actually happened is very similar. So in the trial, Yuji's been accused of entering a pachinko parlor while underage, and this is like a casino. Yuji's found guilty of this, and as a result of Higuruma's domain, the penalty is confiscation. So for the entire upcoming fight, Yuji wouldn't be able to use cursed energy. Just throw hands. And y'all, I don't think Higuruma realized how badly he just messed up. Cause asking Yuji to strictly throw hands is just like putting a fish in water. Cause that boy's in his element. So these boys are teleported back to the theater, and Higuruma immediately started getting active, tossing his gavel at Yuji before pushing his shit back like a beginner barber. After deflecting the gavel, Yuji thought it was just finna be straight squabbles, like fisticuffs only. But nah.
Stupid to me, Mjolnir.
So apparently, Higuruma borrowed Sung Jin-woo's ruler's hand ability and is now in possession of what I'm calling Mjolnir on steroids. Cause this gavel's versatility is insane. Higuruma insta-recalled it back to himself, turned it into one of those comically large hammers you get at the carnival, and hit this man so hard with the sledgehammer that he went flying. But it's no way Yuji was finna go outside like that. So he picks himself up and is geared up for round 2. And y'all, we gotta document this moment in JJK history, cause this is one of the rare moments where the narrator decided that he was gonna in A. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'd probably glaze a little bit too. Cause despite being a modern day sorcerer and only awakening his cursed technique 12 days ago, Higuruma's fundamental understanding of jujutsu, cursed energy, and everything else associated with it was so strong that he's essentially a grade 1 sorcerer. Cut back to the action, and this man Higuruma has Yuji fight like my bank account after getting added to the Japan 2027 group chat. And that boy's stamina meter is on 100, cause bro is just serving combo after combo, not giving Yuji an opening to counter. Pops Yuji on the head like a badass little kid, giving him an owie and says,
Here, hold this for me real quick.
he's the gavel of Yuji who just throws it back like ice spice. But little did Yuji know, he just lobbed Higuruma even more aura. Cause as the gavel is midair, bro just decides to fix his tie, making sure the fit is still in pristine condition. And instead of catching it, Higuruma hits a whole Dio time stop to teleport the gavel back to his right hand. Chat, clip that. Cause hold on, what Future say?
That's too much sauce.
And Higuruma must have been dual enrolled in culinary school while he was studying to become a lawyer, cause he's cooking. Ground pound to make Yuji hit a James Harden step back, cause he was looking to get to his mid-range jumper. Flings the gavel at Yuji, who thinks he's gonna be able to matrix dodge under it, but and the onslaught just continues, y'all. Higuruma hits this blind knee gut check that got Yuji going to go see the same chiropractor as Spider-Man. But luckily, Yuji's got more weaves than when the hair salon is busy, just kicking the gavel away. But nope, return to sender. Matter of fact, take a seat for me, young man, cause class is in session. But we been new since episode 1, when Yuji was breaking Olympic track and field records, that he's like that, hitting all types of hardcore parkour to stay alive in this fight. Even when Higuruma turned his gavel into Goku's power pole, aiming straight for the family jewels, Yuji remained composed. And seeing that his bread and butter ain't working, Higuruma decided to switch it up and bring Fortnite spray meta back, simultaneously throwing and recalling his gavel so fast that it looks like Yuji's running away from bullets. But guess what?
That don't work.
So at this point, Yuji's sneaking around in the shadows like he's playing a Batman Arkham game, and Higuruma's finally come to the realization that Yuji is different. Cause 99.9% of all other sorcerers in this situation would be cooked the millisecond their techniques and cursed energy were taken away. But somehow, Yuji's still a 99 overall COD movement demon that's going band for band with him right now. But anyways, Higuruma ends up finding Yuji sneaking around up top on the catwalk and pulls it down, causing bro to go tumbling to center stage like Humpty Dumpty. He then propels himself forward, but Yuji counters by flinging his 500-pound bathtub directly at Higuruma. But Mans remains unfazed, no Lil Uzi, emerging from the water like Aquaman, just crushing Yuji under this super-sized gavel, which is now the same weight as a baby baby hippo. And Yuji's out of options at this point. He's pinned down with no chance of escape, and if he don't figure out something quick, he's gonna be flattened like a pancake. So during this whole little back and forth ordeal, Yuji figures out he can call a retrial, and just like that, the creative map is reset, and both these boys are now back in the courtroom. And during this trial, Yuji stands accused of something far more serious than in the first: the mass murder of thousands in Shibuya on Halloween night.
Yeah, I killed all of them. That's not a lie, and I won't deny it.
Guilty. Confiscation. Death penalty.
Yeah, so y'all just heard the tone of judgment, and with Yuji being found guilty, that leads to only one thing: death. So at this point, we already know how OP Higuruma's domain is in itself. But when Judgment's most severe penalty is imposed, Higuruma gets buffed even further, transforming his gavel into the Executioner's Sword. And the Executioner's Sword is absolutely broken, because one little cut from this thing results in instant death. But regardless, Yuji knows he needs to get those 100 points no matter what, so he blitzes Higuruma, hitting Olympic backflips midair to land viciously among the chairs, Hulk smashing him into the air as Higuruma goes in for the kill. So these two are both in the air, moving in slow-mo, and with Higuruma's vision obscured, he falls for the head, swinging at nothing but Yuji's jacket, giving him the perfect opportunity to sneak behind Higuruma. But bro was not finna get caught lacking, cause Higuruma just activated his observation haki, dashing right in at Yuji, and this man is visibly upset, not because of anything Yuji's done in the fight, but Higuruma is fuming, asking the question: Yuji Itadori, why? Why would you admit your guilt? And this is when we come to find out that the evidence Judgment submits is shared with the sorcerer before it's revealed to the defendant during the course of the trial. So he knows Yuji's innocent. He didn't murder all those civilians. Sukuna did. So why? Why would you admit to something that you didn't do? Yuji's gearing up for a mean straight right, while Higuruma's descending from the heavens, ready to slash Yuji into oblivion. But Higuruma just can't fathom it. This question is burning a hole into his soul, and he needs the answer. Retracting his lightsaber Executioner Sword at the very last second, taking the brunt of a 200 pump right to the gut. And of course, Yuji's confused as fuck off this. But before he can get a word out, Higuruma explains the exact article and clause in the law that states,
being deprived of either sound judgment or control of one's actions qualifies as non-compos mentis.
Basically saying that Yuji wasn't in control of his mind or body during the attack on Shibuya, so it wasn't his fault. He's innocent. And Yuji just coldly replies,
Regardless of all that, it's still my fault. because I was too weak to stop him.
And after hearing this response, Higuruma realizes that Yuji is a respectable guy and agrees to give Yuji his 100 points, while also transferring a point to Yuji so both of them won't be at risk of curse technique removal for 19 days. And Yuji invites Higuruma to join him, adding to their forces to help ultimately stop the culling game. But Higuruma refuses, saying the 2 remaining points he has left over are from the judge and the prosecutor he killed before coming to Tokyo. And for that, he must repent. And once this is all over, he'll turn himself in. But hey, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, hit that sub button for me, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload. Follow me on Twitch so you can chop it up with me when I go live, and sub up to the second channel for even more new content. I post on there almost every day, and we on the road to 10K subs, so lock in with me. If you haven't already, join the Discord to stay updated on everything. All links are down in the description. And as always, I appreciate the support here on the main channel. Like, I couldn't do none of this without y'all, so thank you.
So, yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Be smooth.